before. They must be something rare. Any of you fellows ever see a bird like that hereabouts?" No one ever had. "Well," said the teamster, "failing to get this log lets me off till noon, and I'm going to town. I go right past her place. I've a big notion to stop and tell her. If she drives straight back in the swamp on the west road and turns east at this big sycamore, she can't miss finding the tree, even if Freckles ain't here to show her. Jim says her work is a credit to the state she lives in, and any man is a measly creature who isn't willing to help her all he can. My old daddy used to say that all there was to religion was doing to the other fellow what you'd want him to do to you. And if I was making a living taking bird pictures, seems to me I'd be mighty glad for a chance to take one like that. So I'll just stop and tell her, and by gummy, maybe she will give me a picture of the little white sucker for my trouble." Freckles touched his arm. "Will she be rough with it?" he asked. "Government land, no," said the teamster. "She's dead down on anybody that shoots a bird or tears up a nest. Why, she's half killing herself in all kinds of places and weather to teach people to love and protect the birds. She's that plumb careful of them that Jim's wife says she has Jim a standing like a big fool holding an umbrelly over them when they are young and tender until she gets a focus, whatever that is. Jim says there ain't a bird on his place that don't actually seem to like having her around after she has wheedled them a few days, and the pictures she takes nobody would ever believe who didn't stand by and see." "Will you be sure to tell her to come?" asked Freckles. Duncan slept at home that night. He heard Freckles slipping out early the next morning, but he was too sleepy to wonder why until he came to do his morning chores. When he found that none of his stock was at all thirsty and saw the water trough brimming, he knew that the boy was trying to make up to him for the loss of the big trough that he had been so anxious to have. "Bless his fool little hot heart," said Duncan, "and him so sore it is tearing him to move for anything. Nae wonder he has us all loving him." Freckles was moving briskly, and his heart was so happy that he forgot all about the bruises. He hurried around the trail, and on his way down the east side he went to see the chickens. The mother bird was on the nest. He was afraid the other egg might be hatching, so he did not venture to disturb her. He made the round and reached his study early. He ate his lunch, but did not need to start on the second trip until the middle of the afternoon. He would have long hours to work on his flower bed, improve his study, and learn about his chickens. Lovingly, he set his room in order and watered the flowers and carpet. He had chosen for his resting place the coolest spot on the west side, where there was almost always a breeze. But today the heat was so intense that it penetrated even there. "I'm mighty glad there's nothing calling me inside," he said. "There's no bit of air stirring, and it will just be steaming. Oh, but it's luck Duncan found the nest before it got so unbearing hot. I might have missed it altogether. Wouldn't it have been a shame to lose that sight? The cunning little divil! When he gets to toddling down that log to meet me, won't he be a circus? Wonder if he'll be as graceful a performer afoot as his mother and father?" The heat became more insistent. Noon came. Freckles ate his dinner and settled for an hour or two on a bench with a book. End of chapter 4.